Okay, and welcome back to Best Era Football. It has been a few months since we played, and so I tried earlier about 20 minutes ago, got through most of the first quarter, and then the game stopped working. Tried to reload it, and same problem. I'm guessing it was since I played Best Era last, I had downloaded a playbook, and I think that is still resonating on one of my profiles or whatever, so I got rid of that, and now we're going to start again. If there's a problem here again, then there will be no Best Era Football today. But I do believe I had this problem before with the downloaded playbook, so I do hope that that is the issue. So this third time is a charm. Um, Again, the first time we got through most of the first quarter. Second time was one play, so we didn't miss too much. It was 7-3 Bears, but again, it was still first quarter, so no big deal. Um, the Vikings come in at 4-0. They are the only undefeated team in the NFC left, and the Chicago Bears are 2-2. Again, this is the 1998 Minnesota Vikings versus the 1985 Chicago Bears, as this again is Best Era Football, my favorite era of football between 1984 and 2000. The rosters, of course, this is Madden 18, and the rosters were made offline, with the exception of some people have, dreads that shouldn't. So then, once in franchise, I was able to give some haircuts to people. But you can download the roster minus the haircuts on, for Madden 18 if you want. Just look up my name, of course, Phantom Fighter, with a 6 as the G in the word fighter, or, of course, you can always just go for the name of the rosters, which is best teams. I'm sorry, 84 to 2000 best teams. Or best teams 84 to 2000. I forgot the name of my own roster now. So, oh crap. And I'm going to actually be doing this kickoff return. So I usually don't control any part of the teams in this one, but fortunately, I called that, but when I wasn't playing, they got it out to the 34-yard line. So let's look at McMahon real quick. 58%, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions at 916 yards. And then let me go ahead and get to the Super Sim that everyone is expecting to see here for Best Era. All right, so the kickoff return, I didn't return it, and I didn't fumble it, so really no effect on the game. And now we're back to computer versus computer sim to see what happens. This is the Monday night game of week 5, so even though it took a long time to finish it, this is the last game of the week, and you will be able to catch up on the other scores from week number 5 at the bottom of the screen. There you see last week, Walter Payton had 16 carries for 53 yards, not his best game, but he is a workhorse, so you should see him never get under 15 carries unless he's injured. And hopefully, if you're a Bears fan, you hope to see about 24 to 28 touches. Play action pass, McMahon loads up and fires it to no one in particular. Shaking his head. This best throw. Here's the rest of the starters of the Bears. Hilgenberg in the middle, Tom Thayer and Stephon Humphreys, then Keith Van Horn and the other guy. Walter Payton, Dennis Gentry, the running backs, Willie Galton, Dennis McKinnon, the receivers, and Emery Moorhead, the tight end. Humphreys threw me off because, of course, he is the backup. Mark Bortz is the starter. The Jimbo Covert, of course, is the left tackle. Sorry for calling him the other guy. But Jimbo Covert, of course, the left tackle. Mark Bortz is the one that's injured. Stephon Humphreys, not as good, but he is, next man up. He's going to have to perform today. Here's the replay. I thought it was going to be the Vikings defense. No, it's a replay. The Vikings are undefeated partially because they have no injury problems. So the Bears, you see, are missing their starting left guard. They're also missing their Hall of Fame defensive end in Dan Hampton. And they also have injuries to a backup offensive lineman and a backup linebacker. So dealing with injuries. They actually had more injuries than that, but the rest of the guys came back. McMahon, on the run, fires it over everyone's head. Didn't set his feet, still got the ball down there. Strong-armed quarterback, but not accurate on that throw. Mike Ditka, as you know, there is no coach with an Ditka mustache. So this guy has no mustache. He also eats his hat, apparently. So, last time we tried this, the Bears marched down the field for a touchdown. The Vikings followed with a field goal. This time, the Bears will get held to a fourth down and have to punt. So not as good of a start for the Bears offense, but hopefully the Bears defense can shut down the Vikings as well. Out comes Randall Cunningham. He's having a great year here in Best Era Football. He's up near 70% with over 1,000 yards already. 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Now, part of the reason he doesn't have more yards is they just run the ball for most of the half, as he has gone over 250 in 3 of his 4 first halves, I believe, unless I'm remembering incorrectly. But he usually lights it up in the air in the first half, and then the second half they just run the ball or do whatever it takes to hold on to the win. Let's see if the Bears can keep it closer than some of the other teams have. Robert Smith tries to take it outside, but Richard Dent all over it. This is a great offense against a great defense. Should be exciting to watch. I, of course, am a huge Bears fan, so I'm sorry it's hard to be completely objective on this one. I definitely want to see the Bears win, but great offense versus great defense is always fun to watch. So Robert Smith gets the first carry, and then he gets the first reception. Here's the starters for the Vikings: Stussy, McDaniel, Christie, Dixon, and Stringer. A very good offensive line, especially that left guard, Randall McDaniel. Robert Smith and Leroy Hoard, the running backs. Randy Moss and Chris Carter, Hall of Fame caliber receivers. And then Jake Reed is the third receiver. And the tight end is Andrew Glover. Randall Cunningham, of course, the old Cunningham, the young Cunningham, is leading the 1990 Philadelphia Eagles in this, also in Best Era Football. But this is the older, not as quick on his feet anymore, but perhaps even better with regards to accuracy and overall quarterback play than the younger version of himself. But the Bears defense does get the stop, so a different start to the game. This time, this is the one that counts. The other one was just a practice of, 2/3 of a quarter. You see the 1990 Chiefs, after starting off 0-2, have come back to win 3 straight, or something like that, and they're 3-2 now. There's the game that stopped the Bengals from being undefeated. The Buffalo Bills of 1990 took out the 88 Cincinnati Bengals earlier this week, which means this 1998 Vikings team is the only undefeated team, as that was the other game. The Carolina Panthers lost their first game to the Detroit Lions. So I don't think anyone's going undefeated in this one, and in fact 31 of the teams have now at least lost 1 game. Coming into the 3 undefeated team, the 1988 Bengals were at home, but the 1990 Buffalo Bills team, and they lost. The 96 Panthers guys do 91, and block game, only 1 remaining. Tackle gets out to the 24. Hopefully the Bears will end the Vikings run here, and it will have no undefeated teams. But let's take a look at that Viking defense. You got Derek Alexander, Jerry Ball, Tony Williams, and Dwayne Clemens across the line. Mays in the middle. Rudd and Edwards are the outside backers. Orlando Thomas and Robert the safeties, and Hitchcock and Court Fuller are the corners. And I actually may have lied. The Vikings may have 1 injury because it looks like they did have a backup. So McMahon decides to air it out on 3rd and 15, comes up empty. He's now 0 for 4, and the Bears will be punting for the 2nd consecutive time. Now, most of these teams are good to great, at least in one area. and some teams are good to great in both areas, but I would say the 98 Vikings are definitely known as one of the greatest offenses of all time, but they also had a very solid defense. And then on the other side, the 85 Bears, one of the greatest defensive teams of all time, but also a solid, not great offense or anything, but a solid offense, a very good running game, and a solid enough passing game for the time. So I'm saying that to say that if the 98 Vikings go a couple drives without scoring, it doesn't mean they lost. Their defense is still good enough to get some stops of their own. Now, I don't think the 85 Bears are interested in a shootout where both teams have to get over 30 points to win. And at the same time, I don't think the 98 Vikings are looking to win games 7-3 or 7-6. But the bottom line is they both have capable sides of the ball in all areas. That's why all the teams here in Best Era Football are playoff teams. Here you have the 85 Bears won the Super Bowl. The 98 Vikings were 15-1 and seemed to be the favorites to go to the Super Bowl and take out the Broncos, and that would have been a great Super Bowl, but something happened in that NFC Championship game. It didn't happen all year when kicker Gary Anderson missed a field goal, and then the Falcons took advantage and won the game and the chance to go to the Super Bowl. Cunningham looking deep, and that is a nice catch by Randy Moss. 25 yards. Moss can do it all as a rookie here in 98. One of the most impactful rookies that I remember seeing in my lifetime. I think he caught it. Foot was down, the other foot was dragged. That's going to stand. And there you go with the defense, a pick six. And that is Leslie Frazier, the future coach of the Minnesota Vikings, takes it back for 6 points. And the Bears take the lead 7-0.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
So the Vikings now. Cunningham had thrown 2 interceptions in his first 4 games, but now he throws a pick six and 2 for 4, 29 yards with an interception. And let's see if that starts to rattle the old veteran or not. I doubt it, but he's actually been close to perfect so far this year. I mean, he does have the 2 interceptions coming in, but the Vikings usually get leads early and just dominate, not dominate, but have the lead or control the entire game. They did have one game that was back and forth that they did come out victorious in. And now they have this one where they're actually trailing in. So let's see if they can get through the little bit of turmoil they start with, or if the 85 Bears can start to wear them down with their defensive pressure. There you see Robert Smith having a hard time. 3 carries, negative 6 yards. Michael Singletary came up like a flash on that one. Jake Reed's in, so they're going with their dangerous 4 wide receiver set. Cunningham drops back, fires underneath, and that is enough for the first down. That was actually a 3 wide receiver set with the tight end, and then Cunningham went to his tight end Glover, gets the first down, and now they will fake the handoff, and Cunningham will go back to the air. Good protection. Cunningham looks deep, and that was almost intercepted. Knocked down nicely by Dave Duerson. Here's the Bears defense. Steve McMichael in the middle, Richard Dent, and Mike Hartstein on the outside. Dan Hampton, of course, is injured at the moment. You see Mike Singletary, Wilbur Marshall, and Otis Wilson are the starting linebackers. Ron Rivera is actually a backup. Gary Finsick and Dave Duerson, the safeties. Richardson and Frazier are the corners. And William Perry was not pictured, but he is also a defensive tackle. As the Bears play a 4-6. Madden doesn't really have a standard 4-6 defense, so they go a lot of 4-3, but when their starting lineups announced, they announced it as a 3-4. That's why you saw Ron Rivera in there rather than William Perry or any fourth defensive lineman. There you see the other Randall Cunningham-led team, the Philadelphia Eagles of 1990, are off to a 4-1 start, so Randall Cunningham-led teams are 8-1 here in best era football. Cunningham fires downfield, and that's in. So Cunningham, 4 for 9, 44 yards and interception. He's having his worst game yet here in best era football, and it kind of makes sense because he's playing the best defense he's had to play so far. So the Bears will get the ball back. 6.5 to go in the first. High punt. It's going to go inside the 5 and bounce into the end zone for the touchback. The 1990 Chiefs took it to the 92 Oilers. 99 Tampa Bay was a winner over 85 New England. 85 New England won their first game, the opening game of the season. They've lost 4 straight. The 1990 Bills go to 3-2 as they are the first team to beat the 88 Bengals. The 85 Jets have won 2 in a row, and they're back up to 2-3. There you see the Lions got their first win against the formerly undefeated Carolina Panthers of 1996. Fake play action, fast McMahon fires deep, and he finds the speedster Willie Gault. No one's going to catch him. Willie Gault, world-class speed. Sometimes he has problems with his hands, but he caught that one. And when he makes the catch, his speed takes him to the end zone more times than not. One play, touchdown. McMahon decides to go for it. Gault makes the nice catch, and then there's the sprinter speed. Puts the defense to dust. Great play from the Bears, and suddenly it's a 13-0 game. I guess I shouldn't be watching all these replays, or else this game might be 2 hours long, as we're already 18 minutes in here, and there's 6 minutes left in the first quarter. Apologize for that. It is the first time back from months of a hiatus here for Best Era Football, so trying to get back into the groove. I will try to make sure the rest of the game does not show so many replays. The Vikings are going to bring it back from 9 yards deep. He gets across the 15 and up to the 20. 29-yard return, but this is Madden 18 rules, so he would have got the ball at the 25 had he just downed it. Vikings offense comes out. Only 28 yards so far, hoping the Bears can keep it that way. There you see the 89 49ers improved to 4-1. So did the 84 Dolphins. So some teams are starting to separate themselves. There's Robert Smith getting a nice 8-yard gain. He now has 4 carries for 2 yards. The 86 Giants get off the schneid after their mini losing streak, and they get back up to 2-3. The 1990 Eagles, the one of the 4 teams in that division that did not win the Super Bowl, actually lead that division. Very interesting. Oh, there's Cunningham, put the ball right on the money, but it was dropped. '90 Eagles beating the 98 Cardinals there. The 1999 Jaguars got their first win this week over the 97 Steelers. There's Cunningham, throws it to Chris Carter, and that is not dropped. Chris Carter definitely has a pair of hands.
I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long?
First and 10 now from the 35. It's a handoff, and the Bears. That was backup running back Leroy Horde, who got back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Wilbur Marshall on the tackle. 1999 Tampa Bay Bucks took out the 85 Patriots. There you see the Bills with the Bengals. Here's a handoff to Robert Smith, and he'll push his way up to the 39. He now has 7 yards on 5 carries. Richard Dent with his 3rd tackle already, including a sack. And there's a draw play. Interesting that they went to the run there. Robert Smith only gets a yard or 2, and 4th and 3, the Vikings will have to punt. Bears are already up by 2 touchdowns and getting the ball back. If the game keeps going this way, we will have no undefeated teams in best era football after week 5. Gentry brings it up to the 21-yard line, and the Bears will take over. There's the handoff to Walter Payton, and he breaks a tackle, and he's finally brought down the 25-yard line. Total yards 98 to 50 in favor of the Bears. 5 wide outs. Nobody in the backfield with McMahon. He takes the shotgun snap and fires it on the money for a first down. He's now 2 of 6. That's his only completion other than the huge play to Willie Gold. That was Emery Moorhead on the reception there. Man will turn and give it to Walter, and he has a huge hole and pushes his way up near midfield. 5 carries for 31 yards for Sweetness so far.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
McMahon fires and completes it to Willie Gold, his 2nd reception of the game, having a good game. And the Bears have definitely been poised for this game. Big divisional game with the Vikings already after a 4-0 start. Had the Vikings won this game, you would have the Vikings leading the division at 5-0, and the Bears would have fallen to 2-3. If the Bears hang on to this win, they'll pull to within just 1 game of the Vikings, which will make the division much more interesting. Monday Night Football here from Soldier Field sees the Bears up by 14 at the end of the first quarter, and driving here to start the second. Handoff, breaks a tackle, catches his balance, gets down to the 22-yard line. All right, formation now. McMahon turns, gives it to Payton, but Suey was unable to make the block on Derek Alexander, who puts Walter Payton down in the backfield. Now McMahon from the shotgun. And he will step up and deliver it to Dwayne Rudd. Luckily, was not interested in catching it for an interception, but rather knocking it down. Mike Ditka shakes his head on the sidelines, but Kevin Butler comes out for a 42-yarder. The man that knows Soldier Field win better than really anyone else. And that kick is up and good. Kevin Butler is true, and the Bears lead now 17-0. So the Bears taking it to the undefeated Vikings so far. So the Bears have had 4 drives, 2 touchdowns and a field goal, as well as a punt. And Robert Smith gets a huge hole and gets up to midfield. He now has 7 carries for 23 yards. So many good running backs here in best era football. Good quarterbacks as well. I just love this era, obviously. Cunningham fakes it and then throws it out to is fullback Hunter Goodwin, but the Bears were all over it, hit him immediately. 60% passes, 40% runs for the Vikings so far. Cunningham in second 11, he's going to throw. Good protection, slings it out to Robert Smith, but his second foot may have come down on the chalk. It did. That's incomplete.
That's going to feel good and look great in film. I'll tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball. Every snap.
Cunningham now gets rid of it, completes it to, is that Jake Reed? I believe that was Jake Reed short of the first down. It was Jake Reed. It's first reception of the game, 8-yard reception, but not enough for a first down. Singletary on the tackle. And the Vikings will punt once again. Yeah, I forgot that one of the touchdowns by the Bears was by their defense, so the Bears actually have a touchdown, a field goal, and 2 punts on their offensive drives. The Vikings have 3 punts and a pick 6. McMahon, 3 of 8, 102 yards and a touchdown.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes.
Now turn, handed off to Walter Payton, breaks 1 tackle, but still only gets a yard at the most.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly.
Man comes up to take the snap from Hilgenberg, turns, hands it off to Walter Payton. He fights his way up to the 25-yard line. 34 yards on 9 carries so far.
That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain. Getting out a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of...
Man from the shotgun, he'll step up, he slings it out to his main target today, which is Willie Gold. That's his 3rd catch already. Willie Gold, 3 catches, 104 yards. Heck of a first half for Willie Gold. McMahon fakes one way, comes back the other way, and hits Dennis Gentry actually out of the backfield. But it ends up being a net loss of 1. Walter Payton's back in there behind McMahon, single back. Man steps back, he's going to run 40, 45 and slides just before the first down. He now has 25 yards on 2 scrambles. It almost looked like a design play. As soon as he hit his back foot on the 3rd step back, he just took off running. So either it was designed or he saw something and knew he could get easy yardage. McMahon turns, hands off to Waltner, and he fires his way across the first down and across the 50. Payton averaging nearly 4 yards a carry.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead,
High formation for the Bears. McMahon drops back to pass. He throws underneath, and it is caught by Dennis McKinnon for a gain of 6 yards. It's been all 85 Bears so far. The 98 Vikings come in undefeated, but they are getting handled by these 85 Bears. Walter Payton gets up to the 40-yard line and brings up a 3rd and 1.
The Bears on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
The big boys come out, 2 tight ends and a fullback for the Bears. But McMahon's going to throw from that formation. He'll step up. Actually, no, he's going to run for it, and he gets the first down and slides before taking a hit. He now has 32 yards scrambling. He's getting close to Walter Payton for leading the team in rushing. Single back. It looks like Gentry's actually out there. They do give it to him, and he loses yards.
Losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
4.5 minutes left in the first half. 17-0 Bears. Man will hand it off to Walter Payton. He ducks and fights and claws his way up to the 27-yard line. He now has 48 yards.
7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to
from the shotgun. Waiting. Steps up, fires inside the 15-yard line. That's Dennis McKinnon. And McMahon's now 7 of 12 with 134 yards.
They can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Man drops back. Waiting. He'll fire it out of bounds over Dennis Gentry's head.
The coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Man turns, hands it off to Walter Payton. He fights his way down inside the 10. 3rd and 6 coming up from the 9-yard line. 2.5 to go in the first half. Bears, this will be the 31st play on offense. McMahon will look for the end zone, and he finds Walter Payton. Diving catch by Walter Payton, and he's in for the touchdown. And the 85 Bears now take a 23-0 lead over the undefeated 98 Vikings. Wow. Well, this is the week of the Titans falling. Not the 99 Titans, but the teams that were undefeated. There was 3 coming in. The 96 Panthers, these 98 Vikings, and the 88 Bengals. 2 of them have lost already. And after that 9-minute drive by the Bears offense, the only remaining undefeated team finds themselves down by 24 here in the first half. Ron Rivera playing special teams and bringing down the ball carrier, who is David Palmer. So let's see if Cunningham comes out and tries to light it up, or if he'll hand it off to Robert Smith instead. Nice spin move there. He gets across the 35. Nice move by Robert Smith, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Smith, after a slow start, he's up to 35 yards now.
Coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando. And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty
Okay, so now Vikings, after the run, they might think about trying to get some points here. Cunningham from the shotgun again. 2nd and 10. Great protection. And he finds his man for a first down. It's Randy Moss into Chicago territory.
They give him 14 yards that time. Nowadays. Looking to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass. They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to completion, though. Made it very difficult. Come on, let's flex round! Flex round! Back to throw here. And throw right sideline is complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. As he'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
Cunningham looking for the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown. Well, there's Jake Reed, the third receiver, but a very good one. He beat Phillips. It's hard to shut out this team. Well, possibly impossible. I mean, the 99 Rams and these 98 Vikings, probably the two hardest teams to shut out. But really, all the teams here in Best Era Football are going to be hard to shut out.
He's got it, and that makes our score 24-7. Set now to kick this away.
Going to remain undefeated. They had scored before halftime, and they did. They still have a 3 score, which is nice. You see the 1990 Raiders got to 3-2. They beat the 2000 Baltimore Ravens. The 96 Packers got to 3-2. So if the Bears hold on to this win, the Bears of 85 and the Packers of 96 will both be 3-2. Both one game behind these 98 Vikings. Not sure why the Bears came out throwing. They should be handing off on 1st and 2nd down, but hopefully they at least hand off on 2nd down here. Do not want the Vikings to somehow get more points before the half. And McMahon's going to run for it. Don't take too hard of a hit. He does pick up the 1st down. And that's the Bears to call timeout because he picked up the 1st down. Now Ditka thinks he can get some points. McMahon has been running today. He's already up over 40 yards running. He did spend more than a couple of games injured in 1985, so his injury rating is not the highest of all the quarterbacks in Best Era Football. And it scares me when he's taking all these hits. Do not want to lose your quarterback when the teams are this tightly contested. McMahon steps up, but this time he gets rid of it and almost threw a pick 6. Robert Griffin had the interception but couldn't hang on to it. Okay, Bears still in throw mode. Scaring me a little bit. McMahon will drop back. He will throw underneath. That's a smarter play. Hammering Moorhead, and then Ditka calls timeout again immediately. 3rd and 9. I thought they would have let that go and just still try to pick up the 1st down, but go ahead and let 15 seconds run off, and if you don't get it, then at least you give the Vikings no time. But now McMahon will drop back. He will spin out of there, and then he will tuck it, and he's going to run again and get a 1st down again. So I can't argue with the amount of yardage McMahon is getting, and that luckily wasn't that hard of a hit, but he's up to 61 yards rushing. I don't know if that's a game plan you can do forever, but I guess you pull out all the stops when you're playing an undefeated team. And now all of a sudden maybe the Bears do look smart for going for points here. If they can get a field goal before the half, McMahon will roll out again, and what? And a very interesting throw. McMahon, I guess he just wanted to stop the clock, but why not just throw it out of bounds? That was. I hope that's not him taking hits, and now his arm doesn't work. Hand off and absolutely stuffed. And remember, they already called their last time out, so the Bears might not even get another playoff. 8, 7, 6. Very interesting play calls by the coach. A few seconds ago, they will snap it. They'll hand it off, but Walter's not going to get the touchdown, and that'll do it. So interesting play calling by the Bears, but it didn't necessarily hurt them. And we get into the half with the Bears leading the 98 Vikings 24-7. Vikings will get the ball, so if they put the scoring drive together to start the second half, we're going to have a ball game. Randy Moss returning for whatever reason, and he gets out to the 30.
Return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half.
Total yards, you see the Bears 264 yards in the first half. That's very good. Hand off to Robert Smith, and all kinds of traffic. He almost got through it. He got through 3/4 of it, but the 4th guy was able to bring him down.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. Shotgun snap as they look to throw. And a hit drawing it loose. It's incomplete.
That's incomplete. 3rd and 13, and if the Bears hold them on this play, it's really going to start looking like a Bears victory. Oh, but Cunningham comes through with a nice pass to his tight end Glover, who picks up. Oh, he ran out of bounds before he got the first. I thought he would easily get the first down. It looks like he stepped out of bounds just inches short, and that's going to make Denny Green throw it fit on the sideline. The Vikings not inclined to go for it, though, but that was, he went out of bounds on his own. He could have easily took another step and got the first down, and now the Bears are going to block the punt, pick it up, and return it for a special teams touchdown. And oh my goodness, Glover, instead of just reaching the ball across the first down marker, he goes out of bounds inches short. The Vikings decide to go ahead and punt it away, and it's blocked and returned for a touchdown, and now it's all Bears 30-7. Wow, that was about, well, I mean, it wasn't points, but the Vikings should have had a first down around midfield. And instead, it's 7 points for the Bears because Glover stepped out of bounds just a little bit too early. And you never know what you're going to get when the AI controls these teams. If you don't like the AI control, what you do like the rosters, then you certainly tune into another project we have going on. Not just here on this channel, though. That's where the same cast of characters from Back to the Future, which is Vinny X Wolf, Tears 89, and John M, as we are playing these rosters every game of the season, but actually playing human versus human, and that's called the greatest game. So if those kind of things annoy you, unfortunately, when it's us controlling these guys, you'll see more interceptions than these great quarterbacks should be throwing. But at least you won't see stupid stuff like that where the guy runs out of bounds when he clearly could get the first down first. Oh, looks like the Vikings go, or the Bears go offside. They do. But Cunningham is not going to go down easy, pulling any trick he can out. A cadence change there. I know Steve McMichael should have darker hair than that, but do what we can. They don't give us every player model, unfortunately. Singletary comes up and makes the tackle. 3rd and 6 now. The Vikings are reeling down by 24. They need a spark, but obviously I'm rooting for the Bears, so I don't want them to get one. Cunningham steps up, throws it, and it's complete, but it's short of the first down. And if the Bears block this one, Dennis Green might just pull his team off the field. Oh my goodness, it is blocked. 2 blocks, back-to-back blocks. This time the punter at least recovers it, but my goodness. This team comes in, look at that, he fumbles the snap. By the time he gets control of it, it's blocked, and the Bears get to start inside the red zone, already up by 24. Well, you saw it. If you go back to the beginning of this video, you'll see the Vikings were 4-0. I'm not making it up. They are undefeated coming into this game, but they are not playing like an undefeated team at all. Wow. This will be the 41st offensive play for the Bears already early in the 3rd quarter. Hand off to Peyton. He breaks one tackle, gets hammered in the back. 17 carries, 68 yards. Walter Payton only had 15 carries all of the game last week. So much better game plan for the Bears. A defensive touchdown, a special teams touchdown. Now another special teams turnover that allows them to get the ball, start in the red zone. McMahon will complete it, but Galt had to leave his feet to catch it, and therefore goes out of bounds, or goes down before the first down marker. So Kevin Butler comes out for a chip shot, trying to stretch it to a 27-point lead, and he will do so. 9:24 left in the third. It's 34-7. Oh my God. He breaks a tackle and he's gone. I did not see that coming at all as I was quiet, but then when he broke that tackle, all of a sudden, oh boy, 103-yard touchdown return. And hold everything. This blowout by the 85 Bears might become a game after all. A lot of special teams action in this game. 2 blocked punts by the Chicago Bears leading to 10 points, but then a kickoff return for a touchdown by the Viking special teams. So in regards to special teams, it's 10-7 Bears. The Bears defense has a touchdown, so defense, the Bears are up 7-0. Special teams, the Bears are up 10-7. And then on offense, the Bears are up 17-7. So the Bears are winning all 3 phases. And to Walter Payton, finds a nice hole and gets up to the 44-yard line. He's up to 78 yards now on the day. There's Dennis Gentry, nice spin move, and he gets a first down. He keeps fighting until he's finally brought down at the 43. So Dennis Gentry, Walter Payton finally gets a break, and Gentry shows off some moves. Gentry back there again as Payton continues to get a breather. They'll give it to him again, and this time he's hit before he can make any such move. 3 carries, 10 yards for Dennis.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defense.
And now from the shotgun, he will hand it to Walter, who fights his way up to the gain of 2, maybe.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Here we go.
Man's going to throw now. He rolls out to his left, and no, he's going to run. No, he does throw. He throws it across the middle, and that's something you're not supposed to do, but he gets away with it and actually gets a huge gain. He saw something that, you can see Dickey up, no. But he throws it into a spot. There is no defense, and it's complete. 34 yards to Keith Mangrum. McMahon will turn and hand off to Payton. Nope, that's Gentry. Gentry, 4th carry, 13 yards. 5 minutes to go in the third. Bears up 34-14. And that's the Gentry, and he's tackled behind the line.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness.
False start by the Bears.
Not even a thought, is it?
That'll push him back to the 12-yard line.
I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys.
And that was that was Stefan Humphreys, who of course is playing for the injured reports. Man rolls out to the right, fires in the end zone, and he's got a touchdown. Nice throw by McMahon there to Emery Moorhead. And the Bears turn this game back into a blowout, 40-14. Wow. The other teams that were undefeated coming into this week played relatively close games and lost. Not nail biters or anything. They were both definitely beat, but but they at least were close games. The Vikings team comes in undefeated, and they're getting their butts kicked here in Soldier Field.
They will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
Still the third quarter, so I fully expect the Vikings to come out, you know, try to get touchdowns. I don't think they are anywhere near trying to just run the ball just to get out of here yet. So Cunningham from the shotgun will throw it underneath to Robert Smith, who pulls off a spin move and gets up to the 37 yard.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers, they probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
He's got his man on the crossing route.
Breaks a tackle.
Taken down, but not before getting this across.
Chris Carter making things happen.
A good pickup there, 22.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps
See
it.
glimpses of that great 98 Vikings offense. Even though they are getting killed, they're still putting some plays together. Robert Smith almost broke 2 pairs of ankles there. Luckily, Jurison was able to just hang on to make the tackle.
Well, last year, I'm not sure we saw very many of those runs, did we, from the Vikings? I mean, had the poorest rushing attack in the league.
Just 75 yards.
Cunningham from the shotgun now.
Carries like the one we just saw, that'll help bolster that average.
And there is a jump on the Viking side of the ball.
Season brought in Latavius Murray and then drafted Dalvin Cook out of Florida State.
Had some momentum going, driving down the field. That'll set him back 1st and 15.
I mean, that type of play, when you've got to go in your direction. Shoot, my man, old Mo is arching an eyebrow at him right now. Keep me going. Keep me going.
And after Robert Smith across the 30, 25, down to the 21-yard line. 13 carries, 56 yards.
A good comeback there after the penalty, 9 yards and 2nd and 6.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage.
Cunningham will hand it off again, this time to Leroy Horde. He now has 2 carries for 2 yards. 3rd and 4 coming up.
Now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for 1st.
The best defensive lineman.
This will be the 41st play of the Minnesota Vikings. Cunningham drops back to pass. And he converts the 3rd down all the way down to the 5-yard line. Cunningham now 16 of 26. 181 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. And this will be the last play of the 3rd quarter. And we'll hand it off, and it will be a touchdown for Leroy Horde. So the Vikings end the 3rd quarter with a touchdown and pull it to within 20. As the 4th quarter starts, it is 1985 Bears 41, the 1998 Minnesota Vikings 21. What? Wait, what? So the Bears are given 2 points for no apparent reason. That was absolutely ridiculous. I hope this does not end up being a 2-point game, as that weird Madden glitch just gave them 2 points.
You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be knocked down sideways, right on the 30-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Brandon's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go rim tail.
There's a handoff to Walter Payton, hoping no more crazy glitches happen. Jeez, that was weird. Should be 41 to 21, but it is 43 to 21. At least it didn't take any time or anything, so it's only the 2 points. No change of who got the ball or anything. The Bears are supposed to get the ball, just a very odd glitch that gives the Bears 2 points for no reason.
Playing this game or whatever we do, hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And taken right on the 30. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Vikings
Cunningham comes back out. He's got 1 quarter to work with. It's a 22-point game instead of a 20-point game. That's still 3 touchdowns, though. It just means they have to come up with 2 more conversions now. Cunningham throws it out of bounds.
They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if they said that they didn't score very much. Everyone does it to some extent. You got to set it aside.
Cunningham will throw it to complete it
That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end
to
zone.
Glover. That's 5 catches, 54 yards for Glover.
You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that on the set.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe put this game off?
Cunningham from the shotgun again.
Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
He's got all kinds of time. He gets rid of it to Glover.
Here, complete to his tight end.
18 of 29, 198 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That interception was a pick 6.
Brings up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively.
Vikings need 3 touchdown drives in the last 12 minutes here against the 85 Bears defense. They are a great offense, but they need to be even more than great to pull that off.
And that's good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a
3rd and 1.
Who's usually going to win that?
Here comes the Bears blitz, and down goes Cunningham. Sean Gale on a safety blitz gets home, and now that makes it a 4th and 10 for the Vikings. If they don't pick this up, the percentages go down even. A low 10% chance of coming away. But instead, a perfect throw from Cunningham to Randy Moss, and the Vikings get the 1st down to get all the way down to the 15-yard line.
15-yard line. They get 28 yards on that one. And it'll give
And now the Viking guy will go off sides, or false start. Try to make it harder for Cunningham.
So that'll bump it back to a 1st and 15.
9:47 left in this one. And nothing.
This one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Mongo McMichael with his 2nd tackle.
From the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't it? It's felt like everyone got a piece of that.
Cunningham fires down to the 10-yard line to Jake Reed. And there is an injury, and that's going to give the Vikings some more time as the clock stops. 3 wide receivers. Cunningham steps up, throws underneath, and completes it to Robert Smith. Gets the 1st down. 1st and goal now from the 3. This is play number 51, but before that, the Vikings will back up 5 more yards again.
Between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective 3rd down play to move the chains. So that'll back him up 5.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. Stop him, he's not right there. Here we go. What? 90.
And off to Robert Smith. He gets slammed by a couple Bears.
He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play.
We're about halfway through the 4th quarter. Vikings still driving, but losing a lot of clock, which is good for the Bears. And up to Leroy Horde, and he busts his way down to the 5, or inside the 5.
As he gets it down to 5.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up and trying to get him for the second.
Cunningham now looking, completing, short, down to the 2-yard line. Cunningham up to over 250 yards now, but they're down to 6.5 minutes. This is a 4th and goal play. If the Bears stop them, the game is definitely over. Oh, and the entire Vikings line moves. That's the third time on this drive. So Cunningham has had to get 15 extra yards because of the offensive penalties. There's no point going for a field goal. They still have to go for it, even though it's now 4th and goal from the 7. Looked like they were going to run on 4th and goal from the 2, but now they definitely have to throw. Cunningham fires towards the corner, and he may have completed it. No, they say he was out of bounds. That was Matthew Hatchett. And the Bears survived that drive. Vikings take a lot of time off the clock, but do not get the touchdown. And that pretty much puts an end to this game. Bears now should just be running out the clock. Should not see any pass attempts before 3rd down, I wouldn't think. Peyton still has to try to get 100 yards. He's at 83. I thought for sure he was going to get there, but the Vikings have had the ball most of the second half. Okay, they ran twice, took over a minute off the clock. Now you can go ahead and throw it for the 1st down if you want. Or go ultra-conservative handoff again, just take more time off the clock. They will fake the handoff. And, oh my gosh, Jim McMahon in a lot of trouble near the 1. Fires it across the middle of the field. And luckily it died before it went into the hands of one of those Vikings. Whew. 4:57 to go in this game. The Vikings will get the ball back. They have all 3 timeouts, but if they can get 1 touchdown before the 2-minute warning, then use their timeouts, get another touchdown, that still has them losing by 7 or 8 points. So still don't see any way for the Vikings to win. However, a 1-play touchdown could change things considerably. So let's not let that happen if you're a Bears fan. Vikings going 5 wides. They spread it all out. See if they can spread out this 46 defense. And that play does work, but he fumbles the ball at the end. You see he was pushing Dave Duerson with one arm. I don't know if he knew that Wilbur Marshall was behind him or not, but Marshall swiped the ball out of Glover's hands. But luckily for the Vikings, it went out of bounds. Bears up by 22, but they put strip ball aggressive on. Interesting. Vikings, Cunningham on the money there. So Cunningham is going to lose this game, but he's going to probably get over 300 yards because they've had to throw so much here in the second half. Total yards are getting closer. Cunningham completes it, 1st down and more. Cunningham now up to 297 yards. Chris Carter has 4 catches for 51 yards. But the good news is we're down to just 3.5 minutes left. So the Bears only have to hold on for a little bit longer. You see the Vikings are starting to figure out how to drive on this Bears defense, which is a scary thing for the rest of the league. But I think the Bears have a big enough lead that they're going to be okay. Now down under 3 minutes to go. So the Vikings now need 3 touchdowns in less than 3 minutes. They will hand it off, and that just plays into the Bears' game plan of making them take time. Leroy Hoyt has 5 carries, 9 yards, and a touchdown. And there will be one more play before the 2-minute warning. If they even get it off, we're down to 2:03, 2:02. They do get it off right before the 2-minute warning, and Cunningham will fire it into the end zone, and it's out of bounds. So we have reached the 2-minute warning, and the Bears still have a 3-touchdown lead. So the Vikings line up for a field goal, which makes no sense as they're down by 3 touchdowns. I guess they just want the points at this point in the ball game. Gary Anderson's kick is good, and it's 24-43. Outside kick coming up if the Bears recover. Hopefully the Vikings will not be calling timeout, just let it end. Bears do recover, and now by kicking that field goal, you have to think they're not going to call timeouts here because you go for the touchdown if you think you have a chance. They went ahead and kicked the field goal, so now I expect no timeouts to be called by the Vikings, but let's see. And up to Peyton, he gets a couple. Okay, the Vikings are not calling timeout. That's good news. Looks like they are admitting the game's over, so the Bears have knocked off the last remaining undefeated team. And week 5 is going to end with 0 of the 32 teams being undefeated here in Best Era Football. And I believe the Lions and Jaguars both won. I think they were the only 2 teams that were winless. So week 5 is going to end, and no team in Best Era Football will be winless, nor will any team be undefeated. So we are getting what we thought when you have 32 playoff teams. Very competitive schedule, week in and week out. No one's going to run the table. No one's going to lose every game either. Teams are too good for that. The opponents are too good for that as well. So I don't think they're going to punt this unless they're completely moronic. That should be the game, and it is. Bears win 43 because of the glitch. It's 43 rather than 41. But 43-24, 85 Bears beat the 98 Vikings. 85 Bears get to 3-2. The 98 Vikings drop to 4-1. Well, thanks for joining us for Sack to the Future. I'm sorry, for Best Era Football. That's the end of week 5. Later on this channel, we will get some Sack to the Future action as the 1963 Patriots will be playing the 1963 Rams. Until then, though, have a good night. Yeah, I will. Have a good night.